Well, you might have to stall a little bit more because I just woke up and I'm about to piss right through my pants. Be
Well,
right
go,
back.
yeah, go hit the bathroom, and we'll keep the people notified about this massive snowstorm that apparently obliterated Dallas. Dallas is no longer there, y'all. It's gone. This storm wiped it off the map, and none too soon, in my opinion. I don't care. Y'all can fight me if you want on that. Dallas is a shithole. Always has been. But it looks like Little Rock is next up in the sights. I still don't see how they're saying we're going to get an inch of snow overnight. It's not even supposed to get below freezing tonight. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But it is Thursday night in COVID land, ladies and gentlemen. We're back to work as normal here at the Liberty Radio studio, and that of course means it is time for America's fastest growing since Thursday night sensation. I should have written that down beforehand. It probably would have come out a lot better. And usually this is where the Yona would chime in with his little bit, but of course he's still draining the lizard. So I'll continue to stall for time here at the beginning of the show and likely fail miserably the entire time until the owner returns. What do you guys think we should talk about tonight? What do you suggest as far as topics goes? Anything interesting happened this week? Nothing really caught my attention. It was kind of a boring week, really. Not a whole lot going on. But it's every now and then in January, you'll get those slow weeks. And then the week after that, they'll like slam you with a scamdemic or something. It's crazy. It's a crazy playbook.
Fuck, man.
Live radio, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have like a green room or anything like that. It's just actually, hold on, let's go back here. I need to do that. Bam, and now it's gone. It's magic. It's Hollywood magic. Speaking of magic, Hollywood's gone. Did you guys notice that? Damn, those are some snazzy looking pants. I don't think he has his ears in yet. So we can keep making fun of him for a while.
Fuck.
This may be the most entertaining open we've ever had. I know Yona's not enjoying it too much right now, but I don't know about you guys. This is quality content as far as I'm concerned. I actually got stuck watching a live cam in Dallas earlier today. Watching the snowfall, watching
God damn it.
people that never drive in snow trying to drive in not quite snow, not quite freezing rain, sleet, slush. It was wild. Because I tell you, growing up in the metro area, most people there did all right driving in inclement weather, including myself. I had plenty of years where I did it. Most of the folks there knew what they were doing, and they knew if shit started getting out of control, they knew how to fix it in real time. Weren't a whole lot of people causing accidents until, well, everything kind of changed. You guys know when that happened. And then the couple of years that I was still there, I noticed there were a lot more accidents happening. You can attribute that to whatever you want to attribute it to. I have a pretty good idea. I know where it came from. And it's not the shots. A bit of what, D? Give him a bit of what?
Oh, thank God I found my weed. Oh,
Awesome. I
oh
was
my
wondering
God.
what you were belly aching about so much.
Heart attack. Having a heart attack, man. Jesus Christ.
I don't have a heart attack. Damn, we're live on the air. I don't know if we've got the license for that kind of content.
One of them things they use, the paddles. Oh, defibrillator. There you go.
That's an extra charge. That costs extra on the bill. So when did you fall asleep? Or when do you think you fell asleep? You must have been grinding all week.
Yeah. Well, I just oof. Worked all day, all night, all day, and then passed out at 7:45 and got woke up at 9:54.
All right, so you got a little bit of a nap. Probably
Important
doesn't
thing
feel
is,
like it.
I
But
found the fucking weed.
that
Oh
is the
my
most
God.
important thing. You're absolutely right.
Oh,
Dude, you have no idea how many times I've done that. Whereas something catches my attention, and next thing I know, I'm like, where the fuck did I put the weed? And then there was one time where one of my ex's brother literally just like stole it right out from under me in the same damn
oh.
house, and then tried to play it off like he didn't. That's a different
Yeah.
type of thing.
It's a good old gaslighting move.
Yeah.
Weed? What weed you talking about, bruh?
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
it's funny because like a couple hours later, it just magically appeared somewhere it should never have been. Oh, go okay, all right, sure.
for some reason, my brain is just taking a complete shit, but I'm good with it.
Well, that's all right because you were asleep.
I've learned to come to accept it.
Yeah. Well, typically when I wake up in the morning, like I'm not even ready to go as soon as I get out of bed. I've just got a routine that I go through in the morning, so I literally don't have to engage any
It's
neural
like
pathways.
autopilot.
Yeah, exactly. I know I'm going to do this. After I get that done, I'm going to do this and then that. And then that gets me to the point where I'm like, okay, is the coffee done yet? But no, I completely understand that. Last thing I want to do first thing after waking up is start thinking.
I still can't think about anything,
That's all right.
but I like it. Sometimes a blank slate is a good slate.
That's a good place to start. I'm just trying to think of a good place to start. Maybe what? Might as well just go ahead and jump in with Los Angeles. You know, the public enemy prophecy finally came true. Yona, Hollywood
Oh
is
yeah.
burning.
Ooh, if Hollywood's burning, I bet it smells funny.
I bet it does.
Ew.
I was kind of
Kind of like when the
considering that
neighbors are
earlier.
burning their trash and their plastic, and you can tell, you can smell it.
Well, not only that, think of all the blackmail evidence that just went up in smoke. Talk about a clean slate.
Gosh, it's a great political career you got there. Be terrible if something bad happened to it. These pictures or videos got out to the wrong hands. So play ball, Goyim.
Eh. Well, the son of the current president of the United States of America.
Oh, the one that got pardoned? by his dad,
Yes,
the
that
president.
one. Well, that's the only one that's still alive. Yes. Hunter. Hunter had a house, I believe, out in Malibu. I think that's where his house
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Burned to the
Off of
fucking ground.
PCH.
Burned to the ground.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh. And in the middle of an investigation too.
Well, I mean, the good thing is he'll be able to apply for FEMA assistance. And I'm
Yeah.
sure like he won't allow like his, family name or his business connections or his father's influence to interfere in that process at all.
Well, the good thing is the Biden family spent enough money at court to make sure that their good name is never used on Hunter's daughter either.
That's true.
She's not allowed to call herself a Biden, even though biologically it's been proven that she is.
That's right. And they
It
they
turns
reached
out
a
the
monetary
results are
settlement
in,
too, right?
Maury Povich and Hunter Biden. You are the father.
Which is not surprising because, when you fuck around,
You find out.
that's right.
And so, nevertheless, there is a cute little girl in pigtails going to North Little Rock Elementary School, and her dad is a crackhead. Her mom is a stripper, but her granddad is president of the United fucking States. Make it make sense. But
Well, I
that
mean,
little girl
it's
cannot call herself a Biden, even though she is.
I wonder.
And that's the hill that the Biden family decided to die upon. We're gonna stick it to this little fucking 6, 7-year-old kid.
Yeah, but I think they still got a monetary settlement out of it.
Yeah.
Like she's not gonna grow up like every other poor white trash in the trailer park in Arkansas.
But to be
She's
fair,
actually gonna have a
when the
trust fund.
Biden family encounters children, they always stick it to them. Am I right?
That is accurate. That is actually accurate. We'll go live to the governor of California for confirmation.
That's true,
Like,
because it's
how many
true.
videos have I seen of our glorious sniffer in chief breaking out the old honker on the kids? The honker
Well, not
and the
just the
kid.
kids, but I mean, especially the kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then it doesn't even have to be weird on that level. There's just like the weird shit of like, okay, Driz, the fuck was Biden doing with the Easter Bunny? What the fuck was that all about?
Well, the
Do
Easter
I go
Bunny was
left? Do I go right?
yeah,
Oh, it's Easter Bunny
yeah.
again.
Well, what's the especially when you're doing an event like that? What's the easiest way to put a minder there? Not a minor, obviously. They already had plenty of those.
But a minder, like a
A minder,
Pasternak.
right. Shepherd, to make sure he doesn't wander too far from the flock.
We gotta get George W. Bush and Joe Biden together to do the George Bush.
I don't think we're going to be seeing much of Joe Biden in the future. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be like he's popping up every couple of months on whatever
How long
MSNBC
are
or
they
whatever.
gonna half-mast all these flags for Carter? Haven't they planted the Crypt
It's
Keeper
30
yet?
days, I believe.
Oh my
Yeah, I think
god.
it goes for 30 days. Death of a president. I was actually surprised that he wasn't going to be buried at Arlington.
Wow.
Yeah, they're once they're done with him laying in state, they're shipping him back down to Georgia, be buried there.
So he's gonna be planted down in Plains.
Yep. Might even be down on the peanut farm. You never know.
Wow.
He'll be feeding future generations of GMO peanuts.
Well, it's good to know when people think of Jimmy Carter, first thing that comes to mind is peanuts. He was kind of a dick. I mean, I know he did all that public relations after he left office with, Habitat for Humanity and all that stuff, but, I didn't forget about the Staggers Railroad Deregulation Act, Jimmy Carter. If there's any one federal act that completely fucking ruined railroading forever, that would be the Henry Staggers Act of 1980, which was signed into federal law by, that's right, folks, Mr. Peanuts himself, Jimmy motherfucking Carter, the Navy seaman.
Oh shit, that was in 1980 too. Let's see. Not 82, 1980
Also,
as well. Yes.
uh-huh.
So basically, as he was on his way out of office, I'm trying to see effective October 14th, 1980. So this election hadn't happened yet, but
That's right.
yeah,
That's
the writing was
before
pretty much
Reagan
on the
and Bush
wall.
won the election because Carter's choppers that were going to rescue the hostages, oops, they ran out of gas over the desert. Oh
Right.
gosh. Well,
Accidentally.
looks like Reagan won the election.
Because that
Hey, what do you
always
know? The
happens.
hostages were just freed. Yay, Ajax. Anyway, and for those that aren't familiar, Operation Ajax, I'm referring to the bathroom cleaner, of course. Anyway, wait, didn't Ben Affleck do a movie about that?
Uh,
Did they call
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
Ajax?
That was, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it was, I mean, you can call it a movie, but it was more of a revision
felt
of
more like
history.
propaganda. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah. May have even been filmed up there at Jared Leto's place. Some of it. You never know.
if they had made that movie 30 years ago, it would have been shot at Laurel Canyon. In other words,
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah, yeah.
Because he owns Lookout Mountain now. Which, if
Jared
that does
Leto,
not just like
he's kind of
scream
creepy. He creeps
intelligence,
me out.
yeah, I'm gonna go buy this old movie studio that they used to make propaganda films for the government in, because I guess that's a thing to do in life. Check that off your list. I don't know.
It just makes the quirkiness of like a Mel Gibson a little bit more quirky and a little bit less weird compared to some of these other people are doing.
Hmm.
Like, with the blood sucking and the kid fucking and the Jared Leto type shit. Ugh. That's why we call it Holly Weird, folks. Holly Weird. All right. Where's that pipe?
I haven't
Oh
heard
yeah.
anything about the Laurel Canyon area being under distress. But then again, I don't remember the geography of that area all that well. So I just remember some people in Pacific Palisades were cool and some people were absolute dicks. But that was kind of representative of all of Southern California. Didn't really matter where you were.
It is interesting how many proposals I've seen recently, but historically speaking as well. Proposals to subdivide the state of California
Hmm.
into more than one state. And, of course, one of the famous ones is the SoCal NorCal map. just splitting it into 2 states, but there's actually been a number of, referendum votes on the California state ballot as well, where there's been proposals, some of them is splitting California into as many as 5 different states. Really
Hmm.
weird, all these different
I mean,
things.
I could see it because you've got basically like all the different types of terrain represented in California.
And then there's the people in rural Northern California that have kind of bandied up with the folks in rural Southern and Southeastern Oregon. At one time, they actually put up a real effort to establish their quote unquote state of Jefferson.
Right.
Um, Again, weird, just weird shit going on out there. As of yet, I don't know of anything that's going to happen with that, but on in the same vein, there's also been proposals of like parts of Idaho and Eastern Oregon also like forming up a new state because they don't want to be associated with Portland because not everybody wants to put a bird on it.
Well, yeah, there was also the Greater Idaho Project as well,
Yeah,
too, right?
not to
Where
be
they would
confused with the
absorb
Greater Ukrainian
counties,
Project, which is
bordering
kind of the
counties from
same, just
states around
more
them.
Nazis.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's not like this type of thing is unprecedented in the what we're told is the history of the nation. These types of things have happened before. They did the Louisiana Purchase, what was that? Early 1800s?
1804.
1804? It took them a while to carve that up.
And
I
that
mean,
actually,
California is massive. Absolutely
the
massive. Not
sale of the
saying Texas
Louisiana
isn't.
Purchase, was one of the big, black marks against Napoleon amongst the French. That was not seen as a positive thing from the side of the French. Why are you giving that to the Americans? That should remain French. Because this is right after, France lost to England, and then
Right.
the English told all the French settlers, "Now you have to swear loyalty oaths to the British crown, or you can just get the fuck out," which, as I discussed previously, the Canadian French call that "le grand dérangement," the great displacement, and that's when the Acadians or the Acadians fled Canada and went to Louisiana, and, they're still called Cajuns down in Louisiana. Sure as shit.
Oh, we just had an
Cajuns
Oregon
from
hashtag
Acadia.
in the Odyssey chat. It's spreading.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Russian police detaining partygoers for looking too gay.
Yeah. We covered that earlier.
Makes
Apparently,
sense.
it's okay to dress up like a goth in Russia, as long as you're not openly gay while you're doing it.
So for someone like that, they can have borscht, but not with the sour cream floating on top.
Right.
That's too gay.
Right. I think the other thing, like one dude had the black electrical tape doing the X on his nipples. Yeah, they took him straight to the gulag.
Oh
They're like,
man,
you need to come with us, sir.
isn't that what Pink Floyd did in the wall after he razor bladed the nipples off? Did he use gaffer tape or was it electrical tape?
Ah, I
It
can't
definitely
remember.
wasn't
It's
duct
been so
tape.
long since I've seen that.
Babe, don't leave me now. Yeah, good one. The ironic thing is, I can remember one time I was so fucked up and strung out that I was actually on the floor arranging chicken bones, And I remember looking up at the Pink Floyd The Wall movie, and Pink Floyd was on the floor rearranging chicken bones. And I was like, "What the fuck? I'm rearranging chicken bones. He's rearranging chicken bones. I'm fucked up on drugs. He's fucked up on drugs. We have so much in common.
Right.
This is
I
great."
think they call that kismet.
Yes,
I believe
yes.
that's what that's called. Yeah.
Oh man, this is great
But
weed.
but back to Los Angeles. Because I've been peripherally paying attention as the situation has deteriorated, right? Because when I went to bed last night, there were 5 identified fires that were burning, right? The smallest one of them was 30% contained. The other 4 were 0% contained. So they were just all burning out of control all night long into the day, because there's not really anything that they can do. They don't have the resources to actually be able to fight the fires, from what I'm gathering. So they're just, I guess, the firefighters that are there are just trying to redirect it as much as they possibly can and not die in the process.
Well, the good news is, with a lot of their prison labor firefighters,
Well, that's
if they
true.
suck
That
at
it
putting
is
out the fires,
California. You're right.
just send them right back to jail. Fuck you then.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Like,
Kamala showed
wasn't
us
it
the way.
Kamala Harris who was arguing in federal court that because of the 13th Amendment, that they didn't have to release the prison laborers from fire patrol because slavery is allowed as punishment for a crime
That's right.
according to the 13th Amendment. So for all these people that have been beating it over my head for years that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves and the Civil War was fought to end slavery. Well, if that is the notion you put forth, why in the fuck did they leave that huge exception in the 13th Amendment? Well, slavery and indentured servitude is hereby prohibited, comma,
Except,
unless
yeah,
blah 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 blah. Oh, well then it's not illegal then. And that's what Kamala Harris argued and won.
correct. She
She
did.
won
She
her
did win
argument.
that argument. Yeah,
She
which
did
is
win that argument.
amazing.
She was the chief prosecutor for the state of California at that time as the AG.
I'm just trying to figure out how do you go from being just like a fucking ruthless prosecutor to being the dumbest human being on the face of the planet.
Well, those 2
But
things aren't mutually
better
exclusive of
question
one another.
probably
Come
is,
on.
how do you go from being a fucking party girl to a ruthless prosecutor? Let's take care of that segment first, because I still don't understand that one either.
It's gotta help if you're a member of the Brahmin caste, because then you've got that inherited pretentiousness that's kind of prerequisite.
But they're not trying to stop the fires, right? They don't have water in the hydrants, blah 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 blah, whatever. Don't have the budget, whatever excuses it is that they're giving, which means while everybody is going back and forth, arguing with each other about whose fault it is, shit's just continuing to burn. So they are literally allowing Los Angeles to burn to the ground.
Oh, who was the Caesar that danced while
Nero.
Rome was burning?
Nero
Was that
fiddled while
Nero?
Rome burned.
Caesar
Yeah.
Nero?
Yeah.
Yeah, he danced while Rome burned. Yeah. Yeah,
Fiddled.
that's the one.
Yeah, he
Yep.
fiddled while Rome burned.
That's right.
I don't know. I mean, I would like to see it a different way. But based on the information that I've gotten so far, that appears to be what's happening. Somehow or other, shit caught fire. We don't know how. I heard a mainstream media news report earlier today where a man on the street interview dude was clapping back at the reporter and was like, "How did this start?" And they're like, "Well, we don't know. We're just out here covering it." Was shit caught fire. Now it's burning.
It kind of reminds me of the problem, reaction, solution shit going on with what my Cajun friends would call the Big Easy. I'm referring, of course, to Nolans or Nolans, as they call it.
Yeah.
NOLA, New Orleans, Louisiana.
I guess you're talking about Bourbon Street.
Yeah, yeah. The Vieux Carré, as they call it down there in Nolans. The old quarter, the French Quarter,
Mhm.
the old block.
It's still there. They tried to take it out with Katrina, but it's still there.
And then there was this terrorism's explosions or whatever. I mean,
Well,
obviously,
no, they didn't explode though. They were there and they were the right stuff, but they didn't explode.
well, at least we got an explosion in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Did that Tesla Cybertruck, was it? Yeah. At the yeah, at the Trump Hotel.
Yeah. And we know that that one was legit because the dude's military ID was made out of the same material as the 9/11 hijackers' passports because it was fireproof.
Yeah. I really like the sparklers though. I really like that. It's very entertaining.
That was a nice touch. I do have to give him credit for that.
I mean, that was better than the last time they had a big brouhaha go off in Las Vegas, am I right? With bulletproof glass my ass. How did that guy get all those guns up in that room again? Ah, never mind.
Whatever you do, don't look at the timeline. Just don't. So is
So
this
Las Vegas, Henderson.
mhm.
Well, that'd be a great place to have a third eye carnival. Or maybe not. Anyways. Hey, we don't want anybody going to jail. Anyways.
what what else do the fires in Los Angeles accomplish besides like lowering the value of the real estate that it's rampaging across?
Well, more fires hopefully produce more homelessness in California, which is clearly what they need more of.
Right, right. Because they've done such a good job with what they have.
Have you seen what they've done with Skid Row? Come on, Driz.
Well, it's here's another thing too. It's also putting more particulate matter into the atmosphere.
Ooh. Wait a second. Didn't California like outlaw diesel trucks and shit like that?
Something like that.
Electric semis. Ooh, imagine an electric semi truck going into thermal runaway. That'd
Sounds
be
like
cool.
fun.
Like there was a I want to say there was a semi that flipped over on its side on oh, I got to think now. What's the main drag there from Vegas to Barstow? I think it's I-15.
You might
Don't
be right.
quote me on that, but I'm
I'll
pretty
find out.
sure it's 5:15. Anyways, this semi had just come out. What is it? Puyallup? Puyallup? Is that the name of the town? Nevada, going into California. Anyways, the semi had the lithium ion batteries in the 53-foot trailer, and he took a curve too fast, flipped over on his side, and all the batteries went into thermal runaway on the trailer and caught fire, and it like burned for 2 or 3 days, wired to the max, burned right through the blacktop,
Yeah, that is
closed
15.
down the interstate between Los Angeles and Las Vegas for like 3 days. Yet another one of these fires. See, there's
Hmm.
this guy that I watch.
Was it Prim? Were you thinking of Prim, Nevada?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that's where it was. That's the one. But there's this guy that does videos about fire safety and stuff. And he looks like the quintessential firefighter. He's got the big, big mustache. In fact, I think his handle is stashed fire safety or something like that. Like mustache, stashed fire safety. Um, and he's done all these different videos on how incredibly dangerous lithium ion batteries are. I mean, it wasn't too long ago there
Well,
was
yeah, they
a
can't even they can't put them out. When one of
yeah,
those
it just
things
burns and burns
catches
and
fire,
burns.
they just have to let it burn.
There you go, Justin Timberlake. Just let it burn.
I wonder if he lost a house in the Palisades. I'd actually be curious to see if there's a list, if anybody
Wasn't that
knows.
a huge chemical fire in Missouri? A lithium battery plant
What year?
this year, or well, technically 2024, down in that
In
lithium
Missouri?
battery plant was like 40 minutes south of Crazy Town, St. Lunatics Town, just south of St. Louis in Missouri.
In November? Does that sound right?
Uh, all right. I guess I'm gonna have to look it up.
Well,
Let me see here.
I've got something here from National Fire Protection Agency dated November 1st, 2024. Massive fire broke out at a local facility where lithium ion batteries were
That's it.
processed and recycled.
Yep, November 2024. That's it. Yeah,
I
so it's
don't
only been
remember
2
hearing
months
anything
ago.
about this. No.
It's only been 60 days ago. Oh, you don't remember hearing about that?
No.
Lithium plant,
I'll
Missouri
drop the link in the live stream chat for folks who want to
plant.
check it out.
Missouri's largest recycling plant explodes. Massive explosion at lithium battery plant.
God, they're so fucking sensational nowadays.
Well, it was massive. I mean, it when it exploded, it threw debris, some of it more than a mile. So yeah, that's pretty massive.
That's impressive.
I know. And then there's like all of the effluent because when the firefighters showed up and they tried to put it out, they kept spraying, and when they sprayed all that stuff, then that stuff became runoff that went down the creek, which led to one of the largest recorded fish kills in Missouri state history. Um,
Goddamn, they're just breaking records all over the place.
really cool
2024
stuff
was
going
their
on.
year. Sometimes
That
you
they,
just
they
right
said
place, right
so.
time, the
So
planets align, and you're fucking shit up.
lithium is highly toxic to fish, and Missouri said, "Show me," and they did. There you go.
Well, they are the show me state.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
We'll never live in Missouri ever again. Ever.
You know, wasn't Missouri famous for the Redlegs? Jesus Christ. The Missouri Redlegs. Ah, yes. The Union Hoodlums. They were featured prominently in the Clint Eastwood movie, The Outlaw Josie Wales.
No, I don't remember that one.
The yeah, The Outlaw Josie Wales with Clint
I
Eastwood.
might have seen it, but I don't remember. At a
And
certain point, like all of his westerns are just the same movie to me.
The Man with No Name.
Yeah.
Ah, wah, wah, wah. And who can forget Indian Chief Ten Bears?
Hmm.
I see that your words are of iron, just like mine. It will be peace. It will be peace.
All right, so have we gotten the Yona warmed up? Are you starting to? Are the cylinders firing yet?
Yeah, I'm almost there. Thanks to this is called Blue Boy. Wow. 32.8% THC,
That's not bad.
according to Ascension Biomedical Testing.
That doesn't
Sounds
sound great.
legit. Sounds legit. Uh,
So have you smoked this before?
no, Ohio owned, Ohio grown. Ugh. Wow. This is from Yellow Springs, Ohio.
Isn't that
I
where
wonder if
Dave
this is
Chappelle
the,
lives?
yeah, I wonder if this is the weed brand that Dave Chappelle is part owner to.
Could be.
Would make sense because that's where Dave lives,
Right.
in Yellow Springs, which is up by like Dayton and all that shit, right next to Wright-Patterson Air Force
Yeah.
Base. Which there's a huge Chappelle Show, like, shop where you can buy, like, the swag and all that stuff.
Oh no
A
shit.
Chappelle Show store right there in Yellow Spring off Route 68.
Like
Pretty cool.
what kind of swag do they carry?
You know, like the Kango hats, the, shirts, jackets, because I mean, it kind of says you've really made it when you can sell your own swag. Like, take, for example, the awesome swag from our homie up there and hashtag love your Oregon at Big Frog, where you can get awesome swag like, well, let me get an example.
Well, I'm wearing an example.
Let's see here.
I had no idea we were about to do a promo. Oh wow.
Blam. Look at that. You see that,
A little
folks?
more. Little to your right a little more.
Bucket.
Bam. Starting to come into frame now.
Bucket, we ball, folks.
I do like the black. That turned out very nice on black. I mean, it's not bad on the other colors too. But yeah.
There you go. We're back in black, Brian Johnson. Suck it, Bon Scott.
I forgot you had that.
Oh,
Yeah.
and that's not the only one. There's a Get Back Harder shirt, too,
Oh
with
yeah.
yours truly co-starring
That's right.
Marlboro.
As apparently not seen at last year's Third Eye Carnival. That's a different story.
Yeah, yeah. I
It's
gotta
still
say that,
hilarious. That amuses me
still
to no end.
I've never appreciated art as much as I did that day.
Yeah,
When
I
when
have to say.
two-dimensional art becomes five-dimensional art.
Possibly
And
even
that
six
damn
dimensional.
poster with the zombie face from that movie They Live, with the special sunglasses. That fucking Obey with, like, the muscle face.
I wonder if that's
It's
still
like,
available.
yeah, man, that's
Because I bet Jeff um, really packages the stuff well when he has to
yeah.
ship it out. I'm sure, the buyer pays for it, but
Shout out to Jeff at the Blowback Gallery.
yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
he's been
That's the
doing it a
one.
while.
Wow, I can't believe my brain's working now. It's the coffee.
Oh yeah,
I need
coffee
more.
always helps. There it is, blowbackgallery.com. That's blow without a W. If you guys go looking for it, I'll fucking drop it in the chats.
Blow
We'll
without a
see if it's on
W
there.
is what we would call Dick Cheney.
I guess
Just
it works.
just be careful when you're skeet shooting that you don't shoot your best bud right in the face.
Some of those pieces are wild.
Didn't that happen in Texas?
What?
When Dick Cheney accidentally shot his hunting buddy in the face
I thought it was
because he mistook
Georgia.
him for a clay pigeon. It happened.
Let's find
I
out.
think they were quail hunting. How do you like that, Danforth
Was
quail?
it quail or duck? I thought it was duck. I don't know.
Well, it wouldn't have been duck hunting. If they were duck hunting, he wouldn't have hit the guy in the face. He would have ducked. It was obviously quail hunt.
To the book of knowledge. Yeah, it did. It happened in Riviera, Texas.
But were they hunting
God damn.
quail or duck?
They were hunting quail. That's 2
Blam!
points, 2 bonus points for the Yona, ladies and gentlemen.
Blam!
Dude, I
Flying
tell you what,
elbow
I
and
was
shrapnel to the face.
I had that moment earlier today on No Agenda. John had asked Adam when the first vaccination was. And of course, I love that game. That's like one of my favorite games. I was playing along as I was listening, and I was like, "Oh, it was like 1798, or no, it might have been 1796." Bam! It was 1796.
Yep,
Nailed it.
because it was from cowpox.
Yes.
Hence the term. That's why they use vaccine from the Latin vacus, which is the Latin word for cow. Fresh mints for all you human cattle. Move along. Get your booster. And because, I mean, from the outset, the medical concept of vaccination was always, oh, look at you, all happy and healthy. Here, let me purposefully make you sick now so that you'll be less sick later. Because medicine. And that's what a vaccine is. Well, it's a live attenuated version of the virus. Because we're gonna help your immune system along by making you sick as fuck first. Because first, do no harm. Just take it. Don't ask any questions.
Yeah, well, the asking of questions slows the paycheck getting deposited into the bank account. So that's why most people don't do it. Why question when I can just take the money and shut up?
Speaking of which, you did point out that our beloved evil Keebler elf up in Columbus, Ohio, Governor Mike DeWine,
Uh huh.
literally after the stroke of midnight, decided to line item veto a provision that the doctors in Ohio had tried to get called the Medical Freedom of Speech Act, which he
Hmm.
vetoed because we can't have any doctors expressing any opinions independent of the official narrative because misinformation and they just, a lot of times you don't have to go after these people. You don't have to attack these people. All you have to do is just kind of take 2 steps back, close your mouth, open your ears, just let them do the talking.
Hmm.
They'll dig their own hole. That they'll You don't have to do anything. Just let them talk, and they'll fuck it all up on their own, as
Anymore,
is
yeah,
usually the case.
yeah. Well, it's the whole thing with bullshit, right? Is the longer you have to keep propagating it, the harder it gets.
Well, yeah, I mean, just to maintain the original lie every day takes twice as many lies.
Yeah.
It just becomes a fool's errand at the end, and you just can't find enough lies to keep it going. Because the truth ultimately is kind of simple and to the point. The longer and longer and longer the story weaves on, the more and more details, the more and more paragraphs it takes to tell the story, the more you know it's bullshit. It's like, my God, this is the never ending story. What a fucking load of shit. Anyway,
Fuck, I'm not seeing it on the website. All right, I'm starting to get to stuff I recognize. I'm thinking somebody's already gotten it. I should have snagged it while I was there.
uh,
It would be perfect, like right on the wall, right back there. I think it
I've
would
been
go
shitting
well
down a
with the
lot of
theme.
music lately. And earlier today, I was recording some new stuff for Kingsley and Deadfella.
Oh yeah,
Uh, this year, 2025, we will get another album put out here. The working title for the new project is Babylon Blues.
interesting.
Babylon Blues. And there, my God, we've already worked on like 5, 6, 8 songs now on that.
So
A
is
lot of
this
shit
going to
going
be like a shift in tone or more familiar?
on. Well, in this case, previously, Dead Fella and I did an entire album together, which we called Red Fella. The album was called Capitalistocracy.
Mm-hmm. It was a good
But
album.
this new project is Triple D action. DJ High Yona, Dead Fella, and Dr. Dennis
Right.
on every song. Oh boy. So,
But that doesn't answer the question.
the
Because
genre.
it's called Babylon Blues, right? So immediately when I hear that title, I'm like, oh, so is it going to be more blues oriented, blues influenced, or
Definitely
is
so.
that just
That's what I'm bringing to
license?
the mix.
Okay.
That's what I'm bringing. Blues and swing with the piano themes and stuff. Very much so. Keep keep dragging it into the swing type thing.
Damn, I think somebody got it already. Either that or it's not for sale because I don't
So
see
I,
it.
I noticed that Joe Biden has been doing a flurry of the last minute pardons and clemencies and such. Um, but like, aren't there? hundreds, if not over 1,000 American citizens still being held in jail, incarcerated as political prisoners because of the
Oh yeah,
January 6th selfie stick,
yeah,
the selfie stick revolution, as I
hmm,
will call it.
yeah. That's still a thing.
And none of those people are being pardoned by Biden, but allegedly
Oh,
the Cheeto
supposedly
Man
Cheeto Dick's
cometh
gonna do it.
and
Yeah, yeah.
Cheeto
Well,
Man's
we'll
gonna
see.
cut them loose.
We'll see.
So we'll see if that happens. Not gonna hold my
I don't
breath.
believe it. Not expecting it.
Not gonna hold my breath.
Yeah, I don't think it. No. Again, these people are pawns. They are pawns in the political game. That's what they were always meant to be. And I tell you what, probably the vast majority of the American population does not realize that we have had political prisoners in this country incarcerated in our prison system for decades.
Well, look at
Back
the
when we
case
were
of,
criticizing Russia for their
look
practice
at the
of
case of,
keeping
what
political
was his
prisoners,
name?
we were doing the same fucking thing.
Who was the bald socialist guy from, Debs. Victor Eugene Debs ran for president as a socialist candidate and was on the ballot while incarcerated.
I still
Well,
wish,
Driz, I have put out quite a bit new music, and
yeah,
I wasn't planning on pulling the trigger this soon, but I've
you got something you want to play?
well, yeah, and plus I've farted about 24 times in the last 3 minutes, which tells me,
That usually means you have to take a shit. Yeah,
yeah, there's a turd honking for the right of way. He wants the left lane. He's
yeah.
blinking the headlights. He's honking the horn.
We all know.
Um,
We all know. We're all
let me
humans here, Yona, as far as I know.
or hybrids. We
Uh,
are open
uh,
to hybrids as well.
we welcome all peoples.
I'm pretty sure I've already done the buck nasty,
Yeah, I think we did Buck Nasty last time.
and thenceforth,
It's actually fine because I got to take a piss as well. So it's perfect. This is
um,
perfect timing, Yona.
smoke more of the weed,
You could not have
derpa.
done it better if you had planned it this way. We're basically right at the midway point of the show.
Uh,
Like, do you
my
see how much of a
balls,
natural he is, ladies and gentlemen?
Miami
Just
Vice.
fucking wakes up and goes right into it, and it's all right on time.
Um, well, gosh, I don't want to go with any of those. Um, huh. Well, I'm going to throw it over to APAC Man.
All right.
Just because we're all waiting for Bill Clinton to die next. Who's kidding who? Right? Right? Come on, Grimmy. I know you're on the claw machine, buddy. It's time to add a
All
Clinton
right.
to the Clinton body pile. How about
Who's
that?
older, him or W? That's my question.
I'm pretty sure Clinton is older than W. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Bubba is older than W. APAC Man Killer Clinton remix. And all right, time to pull the trigger. And Death to Tyrants, if you're watching, I am about to take a shit, but I'll be thinking of you, buddy. Um, all right, let's pull the trigger.
Let's go
Iraq
for
has
it.
one of the largest customer bases in the entire Arab world. It has
Yay,
one of the
Clinton.
world's largest supplies of oil, and it has one of the best educated workforces in the region. But very honestly, we see too few American companies alongside our soldiers and our diplomats. And so it's time for the United States to start thinking of Iraq as a business opportunity. Iraq is projected to grow faster than China in the next 2 years.
Just look at it.
Live from the 304.
I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
It isn't how many we've had to kill, because Hamas makes sure that they're shielded by civilians. They'll force you to kill civilians.
I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
It isn't how many we've had to kill, because Hamas makes sure that they're shielded by civilians. They'll force you to kill civilians.
I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
It isn't how many we've had to kill, because Hamas makes sure that they're shielded by civilians. They'll force you to kill civilians.
I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
It isn't how many we've had to kill, because Hamas makes sure that they're shielded by civilians. They'll force you to kill civilians.
America can't ever be neutral when it comes to Israel's security or survival. We can't be neutral.
I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
It isn't how many we've had to kill, because Hamas makes sure that they're shielded by civilians. They'll force you to kill civilians.
I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
It isn't how many we've had to kill, because Hamas makes sure that they're shielded by civilians. They'll force you to kill civilians.
I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
It isn't how many we've had to kill, because Hamas makes sure that they're shielded by civilians. They'll force you to kill civilians.
I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
It isn't how many we've had to kill, because Hamas makes sure that they're shielded by civilians. They'll force you to kill civilians.
I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
It isn't how many we've had to kill, because Hamas makes sure that they're shielded by civilians that'll force you to kill civilians.
I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
It isn't how many we've had to kill, because Hamas makes sure that they're shielded by civilians that'll force you to kill civilians.
It must be a good one, because we're still waiting the return of the Yona. That's all right. We got a little bit more footage to watch here. Not a whole lot, I don't think. A little bit. Well, of course I'm wrong again. Well, there you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh shit. Well, I guess well, what happens when I do that? Oh, it does actually go quiet. That's pretty cool. Sweet. So we will await the return of the Yona from his constitutional. That's why I'm surprised it actually took us 54 episodes to get to this point. I expected it to come along much, much sooner. I really did. But we don't storyboard out these these narrative arcs. We just kind of allow them to develop organically so that things happen as they are intended to.
Oof.
I already silenced it and put it off to the side. So that was
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
That
you
ended
were
up
only
being,
about 60 seconds behind, and that's fine.
that ended up being a much hairier experience than I thought it would be.
I don't think we really need to know. I really don't.
Oof. Well, it started with Clinton and it ended with a pile of death. We'll just leave it that way.
Yeah. My goodness. Bathroom
Hashtag
adventures,
Mena,
ladies and gentlemen.
Arkansas. That's MENA.
Oh, speaking of,
Mena,
I was trying to
Arkansas.
find something out.
I mean, isn't that where the Clintons used to fly in cocaine?
Yes, Mena, Arkansas.
Yeah. I mean, how can you mention Bill Clinton and not mention coke and whores? Come the fuck on. Or Roger Clinton. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
He was the kind of guy you could actually do some coke and whores with.
Who was it that had Billy Beer? You remember Billy Beer?
Yeah.
Who was that? Whose product was that? Fuck. All right, so Clinton is 78, looks like.
And W?
Well, I'm about to find out.
W is not 78.
I would not be surprised. Actually, he is. He is exactly 78.
Wow.
Yeah, because he was.
So
he
they're
was,
neck and neck.
He was born the day after I was. Damn.
So is
Dodged
Clinton,
a bullet there.
Is Clinton or W older?
I think Clinton's older by just a couple months. W was born in July. No, actually, W is older because Clinton was born in August. He was born August 19th, 1946. W was born July 6th, 1946.
So they're literally weeks apart from each other.
Weeks apart.
Wow.
Yeah.
But W takes the race by a nose. Wow.
Which is not surprising given his cocaine habit.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. He even did cocaine at his Crawford Ranch in Texas with
Well, of course, it's
Vladimir
what you
Putin.
do.
Remember when Putin and W used to pal around his Texas ranch,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
hunting and frolicking and
yeah.
bareback riding on bears and stuff?
Right. Yeah. Getting in, playing in the lake, splashing each other.
If
I've
you're
seen the
riding
footage. I've seen it. Yeah.
a bear's back, bareback, that's based. That's based.
Wikipedia says that W flew warplanes in the Air National Guard in his 20s. He may
No, he did.
have. They just weren't on sorties.
No, he did. He went AWOL.
Did he? I don't remember.
Did
I didn't pay attention to
excuse
all
me,
that shit.
Dan. Excuse me, Dan. Rather, didn't W go AWOL? Hey, watch your job there, buddy.
I
What
knew that was
didn't
all a
that
bunch of
happen?
shit.
Didn't that actually happen?
So there was
Dan
there was
Rather
something about it.
said on the CBS Evening News that George W. Bush dodged duty and made up stories about his military. What do they call it? Stolen valor.
Hmm.
And for that, they fired Dan Rather. He
Oh,
got
I'm
the
sure they
boot from
fired him for other
CBS
reasons
over
too.
that. Right, right. Am I remembering that correctly?
I think he did get fired.
But the sticking point was he had criticized George W. Bush on the air regarding his service in the Texas Air National Guard.
Hmm.
And for that, he lost his gig at CBS, but ended up going over to Access Channel or whatever it is. I don't know. There's 4,000 channels on cable.
Oh shit. Apparently, he was abruptly fired from CBS.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, in 2006. So yeah, that was after I had already decided that shit was getting too ridiculous and there was no point
Uh-huh.
paying attention to it anymore.
Yeah, so we got Bush in 2000, we got Bush in 2004. And then we got Bush again in 2008
Yeah,
or
so
Obama.
yeah.
Whatever you want to call it.
So according
But
to Wikipedia, Rather left the anchor desk in 2005 following the Killian documents controversy, in which he presented unauthenticated documents in a news report on President George W. Bush's Vietnam War era service in the National Guard.
Bam.
He continued to work with CBS until 2006 when he was abruptly fired. So basically, they put him in timeout for 6 months and then kicked him to the curb.
Yeah. And it was all because he criticized George W. Bush's bullshit military record with the Texas Air National Guard.
Huh.
You'd heard about this
Yeah.
before, right?
I vaguely, like in passing, but again, it's okay. So he was a news person. He was a fucking talking head on the screen. Why should I care? I know
Well,
George
I
Bush
mean,
is full of shit. I know it's his family that got him everything he has in life.
to me, when Dan Rather was canceled, albeit for stating obvious facts about George W. Bush, to me, it signaled the end of the Edward R. Murrow area. It signaled the end of the Walter Cronkite media era, where you had these trusted, fatherly anchorman type personalities leading the American public through the zeitgeist of the day, whether we're talking Walter Cronkite or Tom Brokaw, Peter
Right.
Jennings, Ted Koppel, all these old white
Well,
wrinkly old
think
men
think about the
you can
time that
trust, and
yeah,
they drink coffee on air and they're wearing a suit and tie and everything, Driz. They're straight up men.
right. Think about the time that is taking place. What happens immediately following that?
911?
No,
No, this is
that had
after
already
911.
happened.
That already
So
happened.
you
Medical
have
inflation.
social media begins to proliferate along with
That's
the
right.
introduction of mobile computing devices
Facebook
that they
and cell
call
phone proliferation.
smartphones, so that
Yeah.
people don't think of them as a computing device. Um, yeah, there was a shift that was going to occur anyway. This may have been coincidental. It may not have been. He may have been fed that information to do that story just so they could get him out of the way and replace him with the new type of news anchor that they were going to need, given that they were going to amend Smith-Munt just a few years
Yeah.
after smartphones start going into everybody's hands.
Well, yeah, because it's not a handheld computer, it's a smart telephone. Wink,
Right.
wink.
But what I'm saying is he would have been a liability in that
Right.
ecosystem. And it would have ended up happening to him anyway, most likely.
I mean, what happened to Dan Rather is really kind of toward the end of a purge of these old media figures. Like, and of course, getting rid of any dissent. Anything outside of the narrative was just um surgically cleaned from the air. Like Jesse Ventura has talked about before, how his show with the network was canceled
Mm-hmm.
before he ever even made the first episode because they had to get anti-war voices off the air. Same thing happened with Phil Donahue.
Yep.
He was booted from the air for and so you didn't necessarily have to be anti-war. All you have to do is just simply deviate from the narrative in
Yeah.
any way, and you just hit that third rail and poof, your head's on fire. And you're
Yeah.
gone. And you're gone. Rapidly fired. And it's only gotten worse as the narrative, as the lies get longer and more complicated,
Mm-hmm.
and the truth gets simpler. Hence, all the more need for this vigorous, strenuous effort to control the narrative and to censor more truth and to censor more outlets because they're not going to win on the facts. So,
Well, there's going to come a point in the
more
very near
censorship,
future.
please.
Yeah, there's going to come a point where it doesn't matter anymore because it's all going to be artificially generated. The news will be automated, and it's going to be 100% controlled at that point.
Was it
There
Yuri
is no going to
Bezmenov?
be an antithetical ecosystem anymore.
I hope I'm giving the attribution correctly here, but I believe it was former KGB Russian dude Yuri Bezmenov who said that when everything that the American public thinks and believes is actually a lie, then the CIA has completely won.
No, that's a misattribution. That was said by former CIA Director Bill Casey.
Bill Casey. Okay,
Yeah.
yes, I did misattribute. Bezmenov said things along that line, but he didn't say that.
No. That was I think that was at I don't remember if it was a press conference or it was like a benefit dinner or something. But there's
I think it was a
actually
benefit dinner because
I've
he was
seen
basically
footage
bragging
of that.
about the fact that
Yeah.
we will know that we have done our job when everything the American public believes is a lie.
I think we're there.
We're there.
Yeah.
Victory achieved.
Mission accomplished.
It's time to get George W. Bush to come out on that aircraft carrier, Drizzle. Fly the banner. Mission accomplished.
Sorry, I had to give Major Tom the look.
Well, thanks to Rose and Tom, we have an on-air example that crazy and psycho are not the same. Similar, but not the same.
Well, they're again just like Rose and Tom. They're related to one another.
Right. Case in point, Briar Rose is a crazy cat.
No, Briar Rose is
Major
psycho.
Tom, fucking psycho.
No, because Rose is smarter than Tom. Rose is the psycho.
Oh, I've got it backwards.
You got it backward. You've got it totally exactly backwards. Yeah.
Major Tom is crazy. Briar
Rose is a fucking demon,
is psychotic.
Dude. Yeah. She's an absolute demon.
So,
they're going stir crazy right now.
We just kind of glossed over the whole Linda Tripp, Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton thing. But now taking a fresh look at it, after all, because, I played the song, A Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Starring Pac-Man. After all this time has gone by, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Monica Lewinsky. I kind of believe him.
Why?
Because the stories that I've heard about Bill Clinton is that he's more into boys.
Well.
And like peanuts, not meat curtains.
I mean, it's not necessarily an insane idea. When you think about it, at the time that the alleged scandal occurred, if it had come out and it would have been like the president had been messing around with little boys, like that would have like destroyed a lot of shit. That's not something that could have happened.
Right.
But getting a blowjob in the Oval Office, oh, well, that shouldn't probably be happening, but that's still culturally acceptable.
Yeah, just like when you're a famous rich guy, you can just walk up to women and grab them by the pussy. Am I right?
I suppose. Do you actually get to do that when you're rich? Is that a goal I should be shooting for?
Well, I guarantee at more than one Miss America pageant that Trump was involved with, there were pussies grabbed.
By the DJ Trump? Specifically, or just pussies were getting grabbed in general? Because again, it's a beauty pageant. There's a lot of attractive.
Both can happen. They're not exclusive.
A lot of attractive women not wearing a whole lot of clothes most of the time. Yeah,
or like
I'd imagine if you're wandering around at a beauty pageant, you might accidentally grab a pussy or two. Even I can see that happening.
Because Trump also ran the.
Maybe I should go to more beauty pageants. I don't know.
The Junior Miss America pageant with the preteens and the teenagers, and I've seen a number of stories where he kept accidentally going into the girls' dressing room.
I know that one. Yeah, I've used that before.
Um, which why do you keep going into a dressing room with a bunch of half naked 13-year-olds? That's weird. But wasn't it South Park where Michael Jackson in the afterlife wants to be a little girl, and so all these souls are trapped on an airplane at the gate, but they can't get off the plane, but they can't take off
I don't think I saw that one.
until girly Michael Jackson, I'm a little girl, wins the girl pageant. Then the airplane can take off to heaven. The souls pass to the afterlife. South Park, from the minds of Trey Parker and
Hmm.
Matt Stone.
Yeah, that must have been after my time with South Park. I don't remember that. Sounds
Michael
interesting, though.
Jackson or Mr. Jefferson. I don't know. Don't be ignorant. Don't be ignorant. No, Blanket.
Oh,
Speaking of
wow.
Blanket,
Yeah.
whatever happened to all the Jackson kiddos? They're still out there.
A few of them. I think Tito's still going. I don't think he's died yet. Jermaine is still alive, maybe. Pretty sure
And
Latoya is still
wardrobe
alive.
malfunctioning Janet, she's still out there.
Oh yeah, she's like married off to some sultan or something. I don't even know what that is. What is a sultan?
Speaking of sultans, how's that Neem coming along there? The line city that
I
Mohammed
think
bin Salman
I
is
think they're
working on.
having problems keeping the workers from dying. That was the last thing I heard. They were having a lot of deaths.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is Bangladesh has a very high birth rate, so there'll be plenty of more labor for Saudi Arabia. I mean, that's something I've talked to Dead Fella about on more than one occasion,
Yeah.
about the fact that a lot of the Southeast Asian workers, including but not limited to Bangladesh, when they get over to um, El Emirat Mutahadan Al Arabian, the United Arab
Easy for
Emirates,
you to say.
UAE, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, as well as, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, Dammam, Mecca, Jeddah. Um, the first thing that happens when these workers enter these Gulf countries is their passport gets seized
Hmm.
by their employer, and then they can't leave the country, and so they're slaves,
Well, that sounds
and
like
then they
fun.
die. The end.
But that was a very quick story. I was expecting more.
That's all the details we have from the story, and the rest has been
I got you.
redacted.
I
Sorry.
got. I understand governments have to do that. It's necessary.
How many tens of thousands of workers have mysteriously um, become unemployed? We'll say
Well, it's true because when you're dead, you can't work.
they finally found a way home. There you go.
Yeah. But no, that was the last I had heard of Neom is they were having to suspend construction because they had too many people dying. And I'm like, wow, maybe that just means you shouldn't do it. But they're gonna try and figure out how to do it with maybe not as many people dying.
Well, on the bright side, um, one of the fastest developed areas in the world in terms of railroad infrastructure. Normally when I think of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles of rail being laid down in 1 year's time, China comes to mind,
Yeah.
or perhaps India, not the Middle East. But the United Arab Emirates, with their Etihad Railway, is now 100% built out. Saudi Arabia is now going to be connecting up to that system. And pretty soon we're going to have a high speed standard gauge rail system connecting the entire Arabian Peninsula.
Well, won't that be nice?
The only players that haven't really bought into this new rail
Gesundheit.
the only countries that haven't bought into the new rail network are Yemen and Palestine.
Oh, well, that's easy. Palestine's not really a country, so you don't have to worry about them. And they're not going to be around much longer.
I guess we could say the same for Yemen if it wasn't for Ansar Allah.
Yeah, but
But
nobody really wants what Yemen has.
those pesky Houthis and their stick drones.
The retards are acting up tonight. They've got cabin fever. They've been inside
How
too
cold
long.
is it? How cold is it there?
Right now, looks like it's gone back up a little bit. This is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. So our low for today is 33 degrees. Our high for today is 39 degrees. We were supposed to spend most of the day, and we did, right around 35 degrees, which is where we are right now, 34.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but when I'm in Texas, I try to avoid 35.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather avoid the 30s altogether. You know, I'd be happy if it never got colder than 50 degrees. That's why I'm still a little
when I
bit
looked
salty
down and I
about being
saw that my car
chased out of
thermometer
Acapulco.
last night, what was it, about 2 a.m., it actually got to single digits. So I took a picture of my console. I think I sent it
Yeah,
to
you
you,
sent it to me.
where it was 9 degrees
Mhm.
Fahrenheit. And the wind chill at that point was already below 0. And then there was one point this morning, I think it was about 4:30 or 5 a.m., when it actually hit 4 degrees. 4 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Luckily, by 8 o'clock, it had warmed back up to 12.
So you gained a few degrees. That's good.
Yeah,
That's good. I'm
but the
guessing
wind
this
chill
was
is still
during the
below 0.
daytime. Probably got a little bit from the sun to help with that.
What's crazy is walking around, like, we got anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of snow around here locally. But on top of the snow is a hard, crunchy, like freezing rain ice layer that
Right.
coated everything.
Right.
And so when you go to walk on it,
Nope.
it's
I wouldn't do
got
that.
like a hard crust on top. And if you walk on it gingerly enough, you can kind of walk across it without it cracking, crunching, and then your feet breaking through the crust
Right.
on top
Because it's
and
basically
getting
a
into
layer
the
of ice.
gooey center.
Yeah. No, that's
Uh,
what the East Coast has been getting for like the last 15 years.
yeah. Hard, crunchy on the top, soft, mushy on bottom. Which is kind of how the top and the bottom relationship work out normally.
Yeah.
Crunchy on top,
Yeah.
mushy on bottom.
Well, you want mushy on bottom to absorb the force.
That's right. Because it
That's what it's
drips
all
down.
about.
It doesn't. It always drips down. It doesn't drip up.
Yeah.
It's how drizzle works. And you can admit it on air to the whole audience here. Drizzle goes down. That's right, folks. That's right.
I can neither
We got an
confirm
on-air
nor
admission.
deny anything. Shit, how did we get there?
I just need a yes or no answer. Just a yes or a no.
There's still like 25 minutes of show left, and we're already going off the rails.
Speaking of going off the rails, we have to mention New York State governor and leader of the Satanic Seance in Albany, Hochul,
Uh-huh.
Hochul,
Yeah. Kathy.
Hochul,
Kathy.
Hochul.
She's Hillary's buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, let's see. If you would have asked her a month ago, the Metropolitan Transit Authority, aka New York subway system, totally perfectly safe. Quit your bitching.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Everything's
yeah.
fine. And
They got it
now
under control.
we're definitely going to need to maintain a more militarized presence at all of the subway stops because it really is dangerous, with passengers being lit on fire.
Yeah, that woman caught fire.
Allegedly, I wasn't there, but they say it happened.
Well, they need the cameras, Yona, so they can figure out how people are just spontaneously combusting on the subway. That shouldn't be happening. That's not a normal thing. But
Maybe
they don't.
she had
They
a
don't know.
lithium-ion
They
battery.
don't know, Yona. So they have to investigate. This is just part of the investigation.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, good Lord. Major Tom's flipping the fuck out. It's about that time of night, I guess.
All right. So I mentioned the guy by name, and I talked about the factory fire in Missouri. So I guess
Right.
I am gonna throw a little bit of sunlight onto Mr. Firefighter Mustache here. Let's get this guy in here.
All right. Send it over.
Lithium battery fire, Missouri's largest. Yep, there it is. Okay. Um, wait, do I want to share audio with it? It's a radio show. Why not? Why not?
Might as well.
We'll include audio this time. Yep, there's the mustache. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
That.
Wait, why didn't it come
That,
up?
folks, is a firefighting mustache right
Hold
there.
on, send it again. Something happened. It didn't come up. Oh no, no wait, don't do anything. I know why. Bam,
Okay,
there we go.
That's like Wilford Brimley type mustache material right there, buddy.
That is yeah, that's a stash.
God, who was the guy?
I wonder if he's ever thought about doing porn.
Who was the guy that Jim Carrey did on In Living Color? The Fire
Marshal Bill. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. But anyways, yeah, let's check this out for a second.
Yeah, he's got a bit of Fire Marshal Bill going on there. Yeah, I can see that.
But wait till you hear him talk.
Oh no.
All right, I'm going to quit holding out. Here you go, folks.
Massive blaze at a cutting-edge lithium-ion battery recycling facility in Missouri. Explosions caught on video. Last week, I was in New York City, surrounded by battery experts from across the U.S., when news broke about this massive fire at the Critical Mineral Recovery Facility in Fredericktown, Missouri. It was known as the world's largest lithium-ion battery recycling center. This quickly became the hot topic at dinner, and really videos started popping up online. It was a pretty interesting night. This Fredericktown facility could process up to 250 tons of lithium-ion batteries per day. Imagine how many tons were on site when this massive blaze broke out. But it wasn't just fire that was the problem. There were also explosions.
Fire's been going for 20 minutes. Boom, another one. Another one went on deep on the inside. There's fire from it. Boom!
Wow, look at the debris. Ooh, nice.
Wow.
Oh, it's exciting.
That's impressive.
Even cloud.
All right.
Shortly after the explosions, you hear the air horns from the fire apparatus sounding.
Big explosions. I got it on video, baby.
Good job getting that on video, baby.
Well, he probably
That means get
promptly
out.
got scammed
now,
out of
ideally,
it
this
by
was
the local
defensive
news
operations
agency.
only at this point. They may have had people in the unaffected parts of this
Can we
facility.
use that?
This is a massive facility. Thankfully, from the sounds of it, nobody was injured. So why did it explode? Well, realistically, we won't know for quite some time. Could it have been something to do with the lithium-ion batteries, releasing those toxic gases, those flammable gases? Possibly. But it was likely due to something involved with their process, some type of chemical or explosive gas like propane from the back of a fork truck. Those cylinders can explode with significant force and cause quite a lot of damage. I have unfortunately seen that destructive power firsthand. Thankfully, in my situation, nobody was injured. Somebody lost a tooth, but overall, that's all right considering the loss of life that could come from one of these explosions. The fire released toxic smoke, posing serious hazards to the local community. On-scene coordinators from the EPA, they ended up showing up and they were there to help support incident command. They've got a lot of fancy equipment that they can stage miles away from the incident to measure the air quality, and they can also provide other resources. Just by chance, I had an hour Uber ride that I shared with an EPA on-scene coordinator. It was on my way to the airport. We chatted about their role in incidents like this, including how air monitoring is especially crucial in the early stages of an incident. When you're looking at this map, the blue dots you see, they're actually mobile monitors, while the orange dots, they're fixed locations. The on-scene coordinators are there to provide data, but they don't actually take over the incident. They're a great resource to have on scene. And you have to look at it this way. A lot of people fear the EPA. And they think of the EPA as this regulatory branch that's going to come down on the fire department if they do something wrong. But that part of the EPA is over here and not really involved in this process. The on-scene coordinators, they're the ones you want to have on scene, and you want to contact them as early as possible. As you'd expect, the fire led to evacuations and shelter-in-place advisories for nearby residents, and that was due to the dense, toxic smoke coming off of this fire. Local authorities were incredibly lucky with the location of this facility as well as the wind direction. If this building would have been located south of Fredericktown, or if the wind would have shifted, many more people would have been impacted. When you look at this map, it's really incredible that didn't happen. Unfortunately, when I started looking into the company, their website was taken down almost immediately. Luckily, some of my subscribers actually recommended that I look at the Wayback Machine, and I was able to pull some information from the Internet Archives. Recycling lithium-ion batteries isn't without risk, but we need more companies taking on this role. We need companies to take these end-of-life batteries and put them to good use. There are a lot of old batteries out there. This facility had the capacity to process 60,000 tons of lithium-ion batteries. But it's frustrating because there are some claims that they make on this website about processing the batteries that's a little bit concerning. They mention 75 discharging stations that render the battery inert. This shows a real misunderstanding of the batteries. Discharging batteries, it doesn't make them inert. They can still go into thermal runaway and pose a fire risk. Then there's the fire prevention system, and I'm going to let this guy in the news talk about that.
Important thing to note about this company and this facility in particular is that, again, according to their website, they have a state-of-the-art fire prevention, detection, and suppression system in there. And according to the website, they say this may be one of the most sophisticated, automated, and remote supervised and controlled fire suppression systems in the world. It would appear that that played a key role in possibly containing this fire.
Contained? Contained to what exactly? Let's start with detection. I love the idea of using thermal imaging cameras. They can detect the issue far faster than smoke detectors, but there's a problem because the fire can spread very fast. Thermal runaway, it happens in seconds. And if you've got a fire in an area with lots of lithium-ion batteries, detecting it quickly, you can still have a large fire.
All right. Well, to enjoy more of this monster mustached firefighter, check out the guy's channel and content there.
What's his name?
Um, Captain Dunham, Durham.
Durham. You don't know for sure. You just like
Um,
the mustache.
it
What's
it
the
had it at
channel?
the front. Let's go back here. Captain Durham.
Okay. What's
That's
the
an
channel
R.
name though?
Captain Durham. The with stashed training.
There you go. That's what we were looking for. Over there
Stashed
on the YouTubes, kids, you know how to use that.
on the YouTube. Giving us some informations on the lithium ion battery production. And let's see, do I leave the stream or stop sharing? Stop sharing. There we go.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, leave the stream does something completely different.
Yeah. I hit that button before one time and then I had to log back in.
As long as it lets you back in, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I've hit that button and was not able to log back in before. That was awkward.
Hmm.
But it looks like everything on your end is working great with all the new bells and whistles and
So far, so good.
software and everything.
Yeah. I mean, tomorrow
which, I mean,
night's going to be a big test because we haven't
we
done.
tested it out last week with 53-1. So,
Right. Well, yeah, we tested that. I mean, well, we tested it before too because we basically did an entire show before that one.
right.
You know, making sure that everything was going to be working. But nobody saw that. Like you and I were the only ones who saw that.
But this is car 54. Where are you?
Right.
We're officially just about got the 54th episode in the can now.
Right. But the most complex production of every week is always open lines because of the amount of participants involved. Right.
Yeah.
We haven't done that.
And every
in,
time another microphone
3
comes
weeks?
in, it's a whole other issue with sound and everything.
Oh yeah. It's a headache completely unto itself. But yeah, that's the only thing that hasn't been tested yet is the multi-participant portion
Oof.
of the production. So that'll be tomorrow night live. We'll just jump straight into the fire. Fuck it, we ball.
That's how it's done, folks.
Yeah.
Take notes if necessary. Results may vary.
But yeah, I think it's working well so far. I've noticed. I'm not sure if it's a ground loop in the a ground loop problem in the electrical with the house, but I have noticed one issue. I'm not sure if it's even making it out to broadcast. It might just be coming through on my monitor, but I'll figure it out.
So apparently, let me see here. I keep hearing Friday, it's coming. Friday, it's coming. Well, it's
What?
Thursday night now, so
What's coming on Friday?
Friday is well, Friday starts in about 11 minutes. Ooh. A new winter storm is delivering heavy snow, sleet, and freezing rain in the so-called Sun Belt of America. Towns
Yeah,
like
we're supposed to
Dallas,
get
Texas, Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville,
allegedly.
Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia, and Charlotte, North Carolina, amongst others,
Yeah, I don't know.
are
I
under
don't
the
know how
gun
we're gonna get snow though,
from
when
this
it's never
latest
gonna be
southern
cold enough
storm.
here to snow.
So let's see.
And it doesn't even matter if it does snow because the ground's not cold enough to hold it.
Ooh. So starting at 1 p.m. Oh, shit, I forgot to pay my car insurance.
Well, shit.
Well, tomorrow at 1 p.m. begins the snow showers. Temperature 17 degrees forecasted. Yeah, I got my insurance with USAA down in San Antonio. Oh, but
I
they're
think
on
even
Central
San
Time.
Antonio, yeah,
They're in Behar County, spelled with an X, pronounced with an H.
that's right.
Behar County. Um, and
Just a few hours
like
south of here.
like Joy Behar, but that's on Central Time.
Correct.
So even though it'll hit midnight here, that just means it's 11 p.m. in San Antonio.
That's
I've
right.
still got time.
That's right.
Still got time. And I got credit cards, so I can buy now and pay later with interest. Lots of interest. That's how the banks make their money, folks. It's called usury.
One of the ways. Another way they do it is by taking your money, investing it, keeping all of the profit, and giving you nothing.
That's right. Or as they said on South Park, and it's gone.
Yep.
Oh, you thought it was your money.
I
Bless
don't think
your
a lot
little
of people know that. It's the insurance companies do the exact same thing.
Yeah. That's why a lot of times, like when you go to the bank and you're like, "Hey, I need my money, and I need my money now, JG Wentworth," and they're like, "Oh, well, there's going to be a penalty if you want this certificate of deposit right now." Huh? But it's my money. Yeah, but we're using it right now. You're using my money? Wait, what?
Well, technically, Yona, once you deposit it, it's no longer your money.
It's their money now.
That's right.
And it's gone.
Yeah. Which I pointed out again last Saturday night. It doesn't matter because none of it belongs to us anyway.
That's right. It's all funny money anyways.
Yeah. That's one of the secrets of this world, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't figured it out yet, money doesn't actually exist.
It's all a figment of imagination.
Yep. It's all just people perpetuating the same lie over and over and over again.
Well, I did finally break down and find out who my dentist is, so something to look forward to this year. I can't wait for some maxillofacial orthodontic surgery.
Oh, wow.
Just sounds like a barrel of monkeys of joy.
It really, yeah. Well, I know, so Adam Curry did that. I think he did the whole mouth, if I'm not mistaken.
Oof.
And I think he missed one show as a result, because again, they do 2 shows every week.
Right.
But yeah, he missed one show. There was, I would say maybe 2 that I remember that it was noticeable, where you could tell that his diction was different than what it normally was, as you know, his mouth was healing.
Oof.
But I mean, everybody's different when it comes to pain in that part of the body, and especially like severe pain.
I don't know. I mean, I think my smile is still good enough for radio.
Oh yeah, your smile's always going to be great for radio. That's the great thing about your smile. But I mean, the other thing too is it helps with self-esteem as well as with the physical pain, right? So it helps with the mental and emotional as well. So I don't think it's a bad thing at all. It's just going to suck having to go through it in order to get to the other side. But, you know, that's kind of the whole deal with life as far as I see it.
Well, while you were talking, a message popped up on my screen that I only had 1% power left. And so I decided to plug in the computer.
Oh, good choice.
So the weed
That was
is working.
very fortuitous. It seems to be.
The weed is definitely working. Let's see. Ooh, it's got benzocaryophyllene and limonene and shout out terpenes. Anyways,
So what major metropolitan city do you think they're going to decimate next? I'm hoping for Seattle.
well, we already got New Orleans and LA. We had the stuff in Vegas. We already had something in Philly earlier last year. I think it's time for DC again.
I can see that.
We definitely needs more impetus, more raison d'etre for the fascist state emanating from the District of Criminals. And I know they won't disappoint.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, if you want the job done right, sometimes you got to do it yourself. Hashtag inside job.
Or maybe,
Anyways.
maybe it's time, Yona. Get the band back together in Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Leanna Wynn's probably looking for something to do.
Hello, Beantown.
Yeah. Well, you never know.
And maybe this will be the year that we finally get fluoride out of water.
I don't see it happen.
I don't know. Think things are afoot.
Eh.
A lot of people are working on this fluoride issue now. The key takeaway is bros before hoes. Hoes before bros, kind of gay. That's like when Biggie Smalls said, 2 dicks and no bitch, you're in some serious shit. Hey, I'd fuck him, and I'm not even gay. Anyways, moving on.
What do you got for the final word? Good Lord.
Do we still have that freedom sale going on? Just check out the Liberty Radio Boutique. Boy, this is going off the rails at the end. Liberty Radio Boutique, again, with the shirts. Because I would rather, for people that want to support the show and do things like value for value type stuff, I'd like you to actually get something out of it that you can wear.
I want them
I've
to
been
be able to.
donating to independent media, and all I got to show for it is this awesome T-shirt.
Yeah. Oh, that
And
reminds
there's
me. I
all
have
kinds.
a
You
T-shirt
got the one
idea
with the
that's something like
guillotine.
that.
You got the guillotine shirt. I mean, my God, what is there, like 10 different designs?
There's at least 10, if not more. We discontinued a couple to start the year off, but all the other ones are still up there.
And who do we need to thank there at the Big Frog? Is that Ryan?
That is Ryan.
Yes.
Ryan
Shout out
from
to
the
Ryan
Independent
for the
Review.
awesome swag.
Yeah. And we're working on getting some more items in for 2025 as well. Just gotta get my lazy ass working on the designs for them. We'll get them up
And
there.
I do think that actual fucking Monopoly board, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
we've got all the squares figured out. We might work on that eventually. And the snacks idea.
Yes.
Because
The Yona
it turns
snacks.
out Indonesian Muslims have halal pork. So my idea for all of that barbecue pork rinds, those could actually be sold in Indonesia.
As well as elsewhere.
That's right. All of that pork rind.
I'm telling you,
All
man,
of that.
that's the exit strategy.
Blam.
The Yona
Blam.
snacks.
Hey, smoke more of the weeds, eat more of the munchies. That's all I got, folks. We done it again.
Thank goodness. It's mercifully over.
Which is only geek. Blessings to everyone.
We'll be back tomorrow night to find out what you've been up to while Rome has been burning. We'll check you out tomorrow night. Good night, everybody.
Take care, everybody.